Before the Vietnam War, Vietnam was controlled by France. Vietnamese nationalists wanted independence. France said, how about no?
No.
After World War II, Ho Chi Minh led a movement to free Vietnam. But France tried to take control again. And just like that, Vietnam became the world's least relaxing group project. France fought Vietnamese forces and eventually lost badly at Dien Bien Phu in 1954. France packed its bags. Vietnam was then temporarily split in two. North Vietnam was communist, led by Ho Chi Minh. South Vietnam was anti-communist, supported by the United States. So Vietnam was now one country, split into two rival versions. Basically, the beta test had gone terribly wrong. The United States feared communism spreading through Asia.
No.
This was called the domino theory. Basically, if one country becomes communist, everyone nearby falls over too. Very serious foreign policy. Very dramatic table game energy. So the US began sending money, weapons, and advisors to South Vietnam. At first it was support. Then it slowly became, oops, we live here now. In 1964, the Gulf of Tonkin incident changed everything. The US said North Vietnamese boats attacked American ships. Congress then gave President Lyndon B. Johnson power to escalate the war, and America went from, we're helping, to, we are absolutely in this now. Military involvement grew fast. The Vietnam War had officially become America's problem too. Vietnam was not an easy battlefield. Dense jungles, hidden tunnels, guerrilla attacks. The Viet Cong did not fight like a traditional army. They appeared, attacked, disappeared, and made everyone extremely stressed. The US had powerful weapons, helicopters, and bombs. But Vietnam had terrain, patience, and home advantage. Basically, America brought a tank to a hide-and-seek match. Vietnam became one of the first wars Americans watched on television. Every night, people saw bombings, body counts, and wounded soldiers. The government said progress was being made. The TV said, are we sure about that? Anti-war protests grew across America. Students, activists, veterans, and ordinary families began asking, why are we still there? In 1968, North Vietnamese and Viet Cong forces launched the Tet Offensive. It was a surprise attack during the Vietnamese New Year. Militarily, the US and South Vietnam fought it back. But psychologically, it was huge. Americans had been told victory was near. Then suddenly, the enemy was attacking everywhere. The public looked at the government like, bestie, what victory? Eventually, the US began withdrawing troops. This was called Vietnamization, letting South Vietnam take more responsibility for the war. In 1973, the US signed a peace agreement and left. But the fighting continued. In 1975, North Vietnam captured Saigon. Vietnam was reunified under communist rule. The war was over, but the cost was enormous. For Vietnam, for America. And for every generation that had to ask, how did it go this far? Like, share, and subscribe to Passport Studios. Because history is messy, but your feed doesn't have to be.